I should put my something up though. Let me see. I don't know why my screen is black.
So just put
This
your thing on mute,
wait. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right now. So here we are at the Just Stop It show tonight. Good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are. Here we are at the Just Stop It show. And we've got yours truly, the Grand Queen in the house, founder and producer of the Just Stop It show and the Pit Stop. We were here together with you on Wednesday night at the Pit Stop, our mental health check-in, and we're just glad that you came, you passed through. And those of you who weren't able to pass through on Wednesday night for our safe space mental health check-in, that is okay. You notice that use the word safe space. You know, that's the new buzz for us this year. Safe space. Not to say that we didn't, emphasize on it earlier on in our 1.5 year journey live with StreamYard. And thank you, StreamYard, for accommodating us, and YouTube for accommodating us. We just want to emphasize more on the idea of safe space. It's equally important. Our privacy is a big issue these days. We don't have enough privacy and of this sort. But however, we got to create more pockets of privacy, more pockets and areas where we can feel safe and be able to honor one another, be able to honor our mental health, be able to work on our mental health. So here we are tonight again. This is what? This is the Just Stop It show, coming at you live with none other than yours truly, the Grand Queen, founder and producer of the Just Stop It podcast, mental health podcast. So here we are at this safe space, and we got our amazing Mashiro chef Alva in the house tonight. And she's been joining us since the beginning of our new year. And she's going to be sharing with us tonight on our clean slate. This is 2025. We made it. Yay! And we are starting a clean slate, right? Bridging horizons, clean slate, new stuff, new game plan, new mindset, new mind shift, So yeah, so that's what we're about. And I see Lady Alva is back on. She's hanging out with us tonight, and I'm going to bring her up. Let's see.
There we go.
All right, there she is. Hey, Alva.
Hello, how are you tonight,
Hey,
Grand
well,
Queen?
good. Queen and chef, my chef, and Shiro, my Shiro chef.
All right now. Thank you for that. And hello to your
Absolutely.
audience. I hope everyone is well this
Absolutely. We
evening.
hope that they are well too. And for those who are watching tonight, please join us. We want to see you more. Uh, in my mind, you're all special. We're all special. We know that, right, Alva? We are all special to one another,
Absolutely.
and we
Absolutely.
cherish one another. And so we like for you guys to just chime in on YouTube at JTIR Forum. That's just us at JTIR Forum 1 on YouTube. That's JTIREFORM 1. We are the only Just Stop It mental health podcast. So far, so good. I mean, there's many others, and we support those who are supporting good mental health. We're talking about it's just us. We are here to just stop it, stop the madness, stop the mayhem, to create a community of people that are mindful of good mental health, to create a safe space for families and people to talk about actually to before they reach the crisis, to give them sound and guided, valid advice, valid sources and resources. We're not a medical professional, and we do not give medical advice. That is our disclaimer. We ask you always to seek medical advice, seek your medical professional. We're not a medical advice board or advisory. We are here in support of resources and sources that help point you in the right direction towards good mental health and wellness and well-being. right? So here we are on this Sunday night, and want to give a shout out to all the kings and queens tonight. Um, Joe in the house, I tell you, and also Sheba, Joe of Joe, my big son, my oldest son, William in the house. Also, a shout out to William. His birthday is tomorrow, and a shout out to Ariel and also Joe. He's always been supporting us. Ariel, Joe, William, Latoya, Sheba, also uh, Victor. All that. That's the Just Stop It fam, to tell you the truth. And yeah. And for those who I didn't mention, I'm gonna get to you. Believe me, I'm gonna get to you as it comes to mind. So Joe is actually he's on the horizon. So this is a good time tonight to talk about clean slate and bridging horizons. New things, new and new bridges that we're crossing, and also creating new pages in our story and helping others to create those pages in their stories. Joe of just I believe it is Me TV and Sheba. She is also, I tell you, she is helping the homeless, and she's a phenomenal woman of God. Ariel, my other daughter, another phenomenal woman of God. I call her the fitness queen. I mean, she's more than that as well. It's just that she pinpoints stuff that points to mental health, physically, spiritually, socially. And I tell you, she really she commands good health and of the sort. She's just phenomenal. And Joe as well is also in command of his physical health and mental health. William too is also in command of his physical health and mental health. All these physically fit and spiritually fit people are coming up on new horizons, and Sheba coming up on new horizons. Latoya, oh, my other daughter, I love you, Latoya, and I miss you, from the Boogie Down Bronx. Another one who is fitting and putting the pieces together and commanding life, commanding good fitness and good mental health, able to show us, in leaps and bounds on how to do better and be at our best. And also, Lady Alva is also back with us. I see you. And here you go. Had to add you back up there, back up in the stage. Sorry for the break.
No, that's on my end. From what
Hmm.
I see I have an update that I need to do. So that's probably what part of the disruption is for me.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. What I like about it, this is live. This is live. This is live,
That's
live,
right.
live. And stuff happens. And life is
Mhm.
like that. Life is live all day, every day. Sometimes we get those little breaks, sometimes we get those little interruptions, but it's okay. We are on a new horizon. Tonight we're talking about a clean slate,
Mm,
bridging horizons, bringing awareness and support to the challenges of starting a new season. Every
mhm.
season is different. Some people live in countries or states or in of the sort where they may have aspects of day and night, and some just may have aspects of just night or just day. It
Right.
depends on the season. But here we are just talking about new accounts and moving forward and shedding light on mental health support
Mhm.
across rural and city areas. There's so many huge challenges and variations in getting, the challenges that we have in the city versus the challenges that we have in rural areas and suburban areas.
Mhm.
It's really intense.
Mhm.
So tonight, family, this is a safe space. Remember, you can come, you can pass through at the Just Stop It show. And tonight is going to be some little twists and turns, but we're still talking about a safe space to talk about and dive into uncharted territory where city skyscrapers meet rolling countryside. We love the city. I love the city. I love the city. It's certain things about the city that's super exciting versus things that are super exciting in rural areas. Well, what points to good mental health? What's some of the hottest hot stuff that we go through in the city versus the crazy stuff we go through in rural, developmental areas?
It depends on the people, the persons, because some people go crazy when it's too quiet.
Ah,
They feel
you
like I
know,
can't take it. They actually, a lot of city people, they would need to hear that noise, and so
yeah,
it's to each his own, and where you can stand and be in good balance. Really,
that's true.
yeah,
It is true. You're right, Alva. There's so many different sounds in the city,
yeah,
like day and night. It's like the city doesn't sleep. Well, New York doesn't. I'm not sure about other cities like San Diego, Chicago, other cities in Virginia like Norfolk and places like that. But for New York City, they nobody goes to bed except if they have to. I'm just saying. Everybody's on like a different work schedule. Some people work all night, some people work all day, some people work day to night. So like, when do they sleep? And just I can't even imagine some of the things that they pass through in the city. What kind of pressures versus the pressures in rural area, and like you said, balancing the concrete jungle versus balancing the quiet in the rural area.
right.
Because I heard somebody say, if it's too quiet, then something's going on. If it's too quiet, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? It depends. You want to investigate what kind of quiet and why is it too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But sounds really matter because it points to how you feel. Sounds matter because it points to, like what you need to pay, what the person needs to pay attention to,
Right.
and how things are happening, to what's happening to us.
Yeah.
Like city lights versus urban insights. What
Yeah.
do we need to pay attention to in the city versus what we need to pay attention to
Mhm.
in the rural areas.
Yeah.
Urbanites versus, it's like fast paced versus slow paced. Because it's in rural areas, it's just like, hey, ain't nobody going faster than they gonna go. I'm telling you. They
Mm-hmm.
gonna go as fast as, I have to say, as slow as they can.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a hurry up and catch up thing. It's more of a, listen, this is rural life. We take our time. We start early and we finish early. End of story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you don't start early, then you ain't gonna finish early. You're not gonna get through the way you need to early on, because that's just the way it is in a rural area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Well, I
very
think
unique.
life has been was like that from the beginning of time.
Yes,
As we have in our humanity evolved, a lot of changes have been made, which is off course of the natural laws and balance of life. But
absolutely,
what
absolutely,
I said prior, to each his own, and how they, whether their place is to balance. But I'm gonna also say this on top of it all. There's no doubt that everyone should understand and know about the natural laws and just the balance of standing on this planet. Or what it feels like to stand on this planet in a quiet space, to smell the nature and all those things, because it's super important, because that's how we were made, so, but
absolutely.
those who haven't, yeah, try it out.
No, that's true.
Feels.
And you're right, Alva,
Whether it's just
because
a day trip or whatever it is. Some people, I
that's
have
true.
a friend where she'll go to the park and just, and I got a family member that did that too, but and just take
Mm-hmm.
her feet off and just stand and let her feet hit the earth. Hmm.
Absolutely. I heard that.
There's
I
plenty of
heard
people
that.
who do it. Yeah, but I know
Yeah,
some.
just take off your shoes and just feel the soil and the grass and things
Yeah,
under your feet.
yeah,
And because look at how we are so attached to nature, we don't even know just how actually
yeah.
it's a part of us.
It
We are
is.
states, although
That
we're
is.
states of matter, we're
Mhm.
still interconnected with nature, that we've got to feel the soil under our feet. We got to feel grass and see
Right,
trees and stuff
right,
on a regular. So
right.
that's why, and even the city municipalities, they know that. This is why they got parks. That's
Mhm.
why they have parks. They know that it's a part of good mental health. And
Mhm.
when people understand that it's good for them, to be able to feel, to have good air, a good airspace, a safe airspace, a safe space to go and sit down and feel nature and just catch a breeze, some sun,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that it's a part of their well-being, then I believe they would gravitate towards having more of it, having more experiences of it.
Yeah,
Um,
I
you
believe so
know,
too because it's part of our
mm,
nature to do so.
yes,
So, mm-hmm.
and advocate for more parks in the city, advocate for more trees in the city, good trees in the city, and teach people how to, how to help take care of our earth. That's all. Because sometimes in the hustle and bustle of working and going back and forth and living life, I think sometimes as humans we forget, or maybe we take it for granted. I don't know. We take
Mm-hmm.
nature for granted until other stuff starts to happen. Then you're like, oh, thank God for water, thank God for soil, thank God for dirt, thank God for the earth,
Yeah,
and all the elements that go with it. And you begin to
right.
really say, hey, this is what we need to live by,
Yeah, just as
and
the saying when people say, "Oh, we're so far, some are far away from God," we it's the equivalent to where we can be far away from nature.
absolutely, absolutely. And just to drop this on you guys tonight who are watching and listening to us tonight, just a little affirmation for you, from Luke chapter 22:33 from the Message Bible. When you have come through the time of testing, turn to your companions and give them a fresh start. Don't be afraid to share, family. When
Mm-hmm.
you get a fresh start, don't be afraid to share with others, because so many times our little kickstart can help somebody else kickstart their lives too. I'm just saying. It could seem like so minute to us, but it's significant for somebody else. Just share. That's all we need to do is just share, shine and share. So for those of you who are watching from YouTube tonight, don't forget, download, like us at Just Us, J Tire Form One. Like us and share the videos, share the stuff that stands out in your mind. Share what's most helpful in your mind, and also leave us some tips. Because tonight we got some tips. Alva shared some tips with us tonight, on balance, and also understanding the soil under our feet. It's important to feel nature, because we were made, all our senses, the touch, smell, see, feel, hear, all those things are a part of it. So yeah, when it all comes together, it reinforces our creativity, it reinforces our creative self. So here we are, challenging this new season, challenging this new start, challenging, and becoming aware and shedding light on good mental health support in this new season 2024. It really was an amazing kickstart, I gotta tell you. Still moving forward, but we like to hear other people, we like to hear you guys, and how you kickstarted, how you started off the year, how things are happening for you, in your small town, in the city area. Sometimes we're isolated. People are isolated in rural areas. But however, as peaceful and close knit as it is, sometimes it can be isolating. What you say about that, Alpha?
Say it to me one more time. I'm sorry, I had
Oh,
to just look at my phone, so my
that's all
brain
right.
caught in two spaces.
Sometimes in rural areas, in the city, um, you may have family in the city, or may have family or friends in the city, but that are close knit. But sometimes it can be isolating. It could be isolating in the city, and it could be isolating in rural areas. What you say is more isolating in the city or rural?
Mm,
As
I think,
peaceful as the rural area could be,
yeah,
which
I
is
think.
more isolating?
Well, I don't know how are we using this word isolating in a good in its positive sense.
Well, peacefully in my mind,
Yeah.
isolating
Okay.
in
Yeah.
rural
I mean,
area, peaceful
rural.
is my key. That's that's
Yeah.
that's my magic word for isolating.
Absolutely.
But
Rural.
that's it means differently. It means something
Mhm.
different for so many
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. So yeah, rural, you'll
Isolation.
get more peace, you'll get some isolation. You have normally more space. People
Mm-hmm.
aren't on top of one another. It's not so busy every day,
Right.
all and there's designated areas to where it is busy, where you have the business districts and all of that. Or but yeah, so but that's why I asked how you're using the word isolating, because it's isolating can be good.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Isolating can be good. You have to know how to be alone.
That part. That part is so true, Alba. You have to learn because we were born by ourselves, not unless we were born twins and triplets and stuff like that. But we were pretty much born by ourselves.
Yeah.
So to be able to cope and get through situations, that's true. You do need that isolation, alone time, that
Mm-hmm.
quiet time,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yes,
becomes
indeed.
more meaningful. uh and you kind of like turn it into something else, like I have to say a time of growth when you're
Absolutely.
isolated.
Absolutely. It's no doubt growth.
Mm-hmm.
It has to sprout. It has to sprout growth because you have no distractions. It's just you. So all you really are doing is focusing on you, looking at you,
Exactly.
dealing
And
with you.
it's simple. I'm
Hmm.
finding that isolation and things become simple in that quiet space. It's like it's almost like your creative self just becomes so much better than before.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like you're meeting this new you
Right.
know, because
Yeah.
of the season. I think
Hmm.
I guess it's like when you're shedding something.
Right. 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 I like various sports, and I'm a tennis fan. Australian
Oh,
Australian Open is going down now, but
oh
ironically,
wow.
they were just talking about one of the players, women, and how she expressed she, instead of getting right into tennis professionally, she decided to go on to college, and she was in the Ukraine and dealing with things that were going on in the Ukraine. But it was a growing period for her, so like you said, the shedding of removing herself from what she's used to into something else where it's just her, and having to figure out to navigate just her between school,
Exactly.
still training for tennis, and all of that jazz. So it's
Mm-hmm.
good. It's good. You get to
Yes,
learn
it
some
is.
things about yourself.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's learning things more of what you know. Sometimes it's learning stuff that you didn't even know about yourself.
that's true. That
you
is
know.
so true, Alva. So it's
Hmm.
like I like that word you said, training. So it's like we're in training, and sort of like our season of training to
Hmm.
go to the next level, to go
Right.
to that next horizon. We're like in a
Right.
training period.
Well, I
Wow.
think we're always in training.
True, true. That's true. That's
you
true.
know, from the day we're born, we're being trained and be through the raising in the hands of our parents and other marvelous, endearing elders, if they took that moment in our families.
Exactly.
We're always in training.
Exactly.
And
And
I
thank
think
God for them.
you to say, yeah, it's a good way to look at it that way, because I
Mm-hmm.
think people get messed up and stuck in the doing. With I'm doing,
Yeah,
but your doing is maybe for the next season to come. So you
exactly.
and sometimes you don't know. I've gotten surprised myself with the next season to come in my life, that I didn't even know that this would be happening, or I would be doing this. And then I look
Yes.
back and look, I'm gonna take you here, because even when you said about a clean state slate, and I think new accounts, and it made me
Yes.
think, well, I thought about the banks. You don't close an old account unless there's nothing in that account, unless it's
True.
zero balance.
Exactly.
With human beings, any account we have, it's always something in that account.
Exactly.
So what I like to do, and what I realize, is that if it's the bad stuff, the stuff that I don't need anymore, or the not so good stuff, I'm going to get that out of that account, because I'm on my clean slate. But the stuff
Exactly.
that has its meaning, it stays in that account, because I can always go
Exactly.
back into the what do you call it, the safe, the what do you call it, the safe box, I'll say.
Yes,
Yeah, I can always go back there and pull something from that that I may use for the now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you have your safety deposit box,
There you go.
you
Thank you. I
have your
couldn't get it out.
savings account, you have your
Right,
checking, you
right.
have so many
Yeah,
different forms to
yeah.
format your assets.
Right. So
Absolutely.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So the clean slate is good, but don't dump all those accounts that you had before the clean slate. Check them. We go through them and see what you need to keep. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. You heard it, fam. Go, don't dump everything. Don't dump everything at one time, because you need to just go over, reevaluate some of the things you need to keep, and some of the things, particularly because they do become assets to you.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
life is full of assets, and uh, try to change that mindset, the mind shift that you have assets. Your mental health is one of them, as
Hmm.
one of the most important assets. We talk about your physical assets, your liquid assets, and things like that. Reevaluate them, place them, prioritize them, and whatever you need to dump it, and whatever you need to reevaluate it,
Hmm.
and challenge it, reform. If you need to go through some type of reform, no problem. Just make sure you're doing it the right way with a guide. Always have a guide, because every season has a reason, for it being there. Summer is summer, fall is fall, winter is winter, and summer is and of the sort. So
Hmm.
spring is spring. It all has a purpose. So your assets have a purpose. Life is purposeful. So in
Yes.
our seasons, and thank you, Alva. That was excellent. That was excellent tip for dealing with our lives, and embrace those changes. Just don't dump everything. Just make sure you have also the right advisors as well. Reach out and connect with the right people, and this is some little rural tips and city tips that I just like to share with you. For those of you who are watching live on YouTube, please don't hesitate to chime in and share some more rural and city tips with us on how to move forward, on how to how to create this clean slate. I'm just saying, and how to update our clean slate. That part, bridging horizons, making new bridges, and not forgetting. And that's another thing, Alva. Just appreciate
Hmm.
mentioning our forefathers, our ancestors, our family members who helped us from their beginnings, their new beginnings, their clean slates, who help bridge and create more horizons. We thank God for our family members, those who have passed
Absolutely.
on and those who are living. We thank God for them, and friends. We thank God for them. And we don't take it for granted at all, as I often say, right?
Absolutely.
So again, from Luke chapter 22:32, come through when we come through in our time of testing, and we turn our hearts to our friends and family, support them with a fresh start. That's from Luke chapter 22:32. Support them with our experiences. Our experiences are definitely going to be different from theirs. Just shine and share with them, so that it will encourage them and give them a helping hand, give them more heart to continue and forge ahead. So here's some more tips, rural tips. Connect with nature. Just like my Shiro chef said, take a walk, feel the grass under your feet, feel the soil, feel the dirt under your feet. And if you can't, take a little walk in the park in the city, do a little day trip sometime. Take a little drive, a little day trip out to among rural areas or suburban areas, just for like an hour or so, and feel nature, feel the sun, get some sun. As cold as it is, I know somebody saying, Grand Queen, are you okay? As cold as it is, it's like it's been in one digits. It's okay. Let me tell you, some people don't mind the cold weather. Some people love the cold weather. The colder it is, the more they love it, the more they embrace it. So, in
Mhm.
other words, it's a challenge. It might be cold right now, but we still need the sun. It's no grass anywhere, of course. But the thing is, we need the sun. We still need to be among nature. We still need to go someplace and feel the breeze and things like that. So as we evolve from season to season, and the spring comes and the grass begins to grow, and the summer comes and the grass is grown already, we can appreciate and be more in touch with our surroundings, our environment, our natural environment, and
Yeah.
learn what needs to be done to keep our environment beautiful.
Right.
That part. This is
That
what we're
part.
here for.
And
Yeah.
there's a thing called, a lot of people are into cold weather therapy. Some people jump
Oh,
in you got the people who, the what they call them, the Eskimos, who get in the pool once a year. I mean
oh yeah. I
you
heard
know,
about
there's
them.
some
What are
people
they
that just do
called?
it individually, or you can
It's
just
like
take
a
a
club,
walk.
isn't it?
Yeah. Or,
And they in this club, they go to the ocean. I mean, like the
yeah,
coldest one ever, and they do charity events. They do
yeah, they do.
fundraising
Hmm.
and things like that. Oh my
But for
God.
an individual or a couple or a few, you can walk in the cold weather. You just make sure you lay it up and
Exactly.
go on a brisk walk, because
That
when
part.
we move our bodies, our temperature rises. We're heating up. So
Absolutely.
cold weather therapy is so refreshing. I do it a lot now because I have a dog that I have to walk, and I'll go on a nice long walk with her, and we're not walking slow because she likes to move. So
All right. She's like,
it's
listen,
very,
hurry up.
yes, I'm getting some exercise in. I'm getting cold weather therapy. I mean, for me, I get to the point I'm sweating under my clothes.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
And
is
when
so
I
good,
stop,
family.
I've stopped. I go in the store, and all of a sudden, it's sweat pouring down my face because now it's no movement, my body,
Uh-huh.
right? And people
Uh-huh.
look at me. I said, "No, it's my ex. I'm walking with my dog, brisk walking, maybe trotting with her." So yeah, but it's very good cold weather therapy. Another tip
Wow.
for cold weather therapy, because there's a gentleman that I actually is part of my network on one of my social medias, or two of them. But he goes out and he talks about cold weather. I can't recall his name, and he goes to the beach and stuff like that. And I told him one time, just one of his lives and chatting, I said, you know what I started doing watching you? I just go outside with shorts on in the winter. Like, I'll have
Uh-huh.
my coat, everything else, but I just have shorts. Now, like knee shorts, and let the cold hit my legs. And if those of you who don't know, there's a difference from your legs just being exposed to the cold than certain type of pants on your legs, because
Right.
the garment will hold the cold, and your leg will be
Mm-hmm.
colder than just your legs exposed to the cold. Yes,
Wow.
it's good. it,
Wow.
it does help. It does has its health components for the body.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Wow, that is a great tip, Alva. And you know what? I practice that one on regular cold weather therapy because I
Yeah,
could just step right outside my house, go right around, take a little walk around my yard, just step right out on my
yeah,
deck. And I
yeah,
mean, it's been like single digits, and I still
yeah,
step outside for a few minutes. Like you said, insulated,
yeah.
lay it up and
You,
things like that because, you want to have common sense.
yeah.
Um,
I did that when I
but it's
lived up in
good.
the Poconos, and
Mm-hmm.
the air is different. The cold is you don't get a lot of wind. It's dry. It's crisp. It's mountain cold. But
Exactly.
I used to, in the morning,
Exactly.
make my
Yes.
coffee and take my coffee and go stand out on the and sometimes just maybe in my my pajamas that I have.
That
Yeah, my
part.
pajamas
And
or
that's
something.
so relaxing.
And yeah, and just stand on the porch for a minute and take in that,
Right.
breathing in, exhale, feel it, and say, "Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, it's so good."
Yeah, that early
So good.
morning mountain air
Yeah.
is so good, Alva. I mean, like it wakes up your brain, it gets
Yeah.
you going, and it's like the
Hmm.
Kickstarter with the coffee. It is
Yeah.
so, what an amazing combination.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, so right, Alva. And family, please, these are just some of the amazing spaces, safe spaces
Mhm.
that God has to share with us on this green, phenomenal earth.
Yeah.
Just think these are just little pockets of amazement that God has to share with us. Just think how much more there is for us on this earth.
Hmm.
It's just, we haven't even, I have to say, what my grandmother used to tell me, I haven't even begun to, she's like, little girl, you haven't even begun to get your nose wet. She used to
No.
tell me, she said, little girl, and I was grown and married, and she was telling me, "Little girl," and I used to be like, "Grandma, you're right." So these are just some things that is there for us, and it's much more than, like you said. Then it's not a to-do list. This is an experience that we must all come through in safe spaces at
Mhm.
different times in life, at different intervals. And so, we embrace these changing seasons. Family, embrace the change. It's going to be a challenge. I'm going to tell you, we all know it's a real challenge. We can't say just because some people have been through it, we all go through it differently. And it's different for all of us. It's just that we've got to experience it. We've got to get through it. We've got to go through the changing seasons so that we can change, so that
That's right.
we can be at our best.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
here we are, and just want to share this friendly disclaimer with you again. The information in my videos are not intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All content, including graphics, images, and information contained is for general information purposes only and cannot and will not ever replace consultation with your own doctor or medical health professional. It can't ever replace that. It is just to engage you with that medical professional and do your comparison. Always do your due process. Thank God for doctors and medical health professionals. It's just that there's no one size fits all. Remember that you are creatively made and there's no one size fits all medical plan, medicine plan. It must be conducive for you, just for you. And that's
Mhm.
something that we all have to, that you would have to work through and get the right advice from the right medical team. And
Mhm.
use your community sources, to do your due process. Just like even with medicines, I always, before I even engage in the medicine, I do my due process. I look it up. I do research on it. I gather some data on it, to see what the studies show on it. And then I take it. And if it doesn't do me well, then I talk back with the doctor and let the doctor know what's
Mhm.
happening with me, my
Mhm.
my interaction and stuff with it. And I believe that's how you do better and you do well, by having these kinds of conversations so that you can, move on up to that clean slate
Mhm.
and bridging, new horizons. So here we are at the end of tonight's show, but we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll be back every Wednesday, but we'll be back with the Just Stop It show on the Sunday after next, because remember, our new schedule is alternate Sundays. So the Grand Queen will be back with you alternate Sundays. And I hope our Shiro Chef will be joining us as well. She's got some great new stuff coming up on her horizons. I don't know if she want to share it right now. If she want to keep it until later.
I'll share it. Yes, right
Absolutely, because
now
I'm excited with you. I'm like, let me just wait and
yes,
hear what she want to
is
share.
the Hummingbirds, the um radio show will be coming back again on the block radio station. Um right now I'm looking to do my promotional video so I can get it out there to the public and to hopefully encourage you guys to come on in and listen to my show. It's a praise and worship show with a plethora of topics. And of course,
Absolutely.
you will hear the word. You will hear the word. Um,
Amen.
Also, I'm gonna just speak something out a little bit. Listen out for me because if it's gonna this other entity for me to add into my promotional video is there might be a day for free testing for, and
Oh,
as you know, I advocate for women living positively with HIV. So on
exactly.
the day that I shoot my video, hopefully I'm going to say potentially it's Thursday, this Thursday coming, I believe that's the 16th, and we will be out
Yes.
at the AIDS Memorial Park in Greenwich Village. That's at St. Patrick's, I think, or St. Vincent's. Yeah,
St. Vincent, uh-huh.
yeah, over there. So
Absolutely.
we'll be there, and I'll be collaborating with the for the free testing set up with Northwell Health. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them to see if they have all their tools together to be able to meet me out or come with that day. So hopefully
Excellent.
I'll hear from them tomorrow. But I'm gonna say on account of just myself, even if that doesn't meet, because when you're organizing these things, it takes a lot. And I actually didn't intend for for it to be a big event of free testing. Everything just started falling that way. I started
Mm-hmm.
being, I was talked to that way from the head of media at Northwell. And
Wow.
so, of course, I'm going to accept all these positive things. I'm not going to say no because this is what I advocate for, right? So if it
Exactly.
doesn't go down and we can't get our schedules intact and everything, then hopefully in the future it'll be another one. But just stay tuned for listen out for me on my platform. I'll do a little quick live or something or a little video saying, hey, come on down if you want to have free testing for HIV on that day.
Excellent, excellent. Wow, we are so proud of you, Alva. I am so proud of you. And for those of you who don't know, like she said, she only tapped into a little bit of what the phenomenal work that Alva is doing, and her own experience advocating. She's an advocate for women living positively with HIV. That is a huge feat.
Hmm.
And it's more than a feat. We're talking about living life. We're talking about living a better life. We talk about bridging horizons
Hmm.
and understanding the and being aware and removing the stigmas and living through things that people don't clearly don't even understand, but it brings clarity to them. It brings them understanding. It gives them awareness. And now she has the opportunity to create more positiveness, more positivity for women living positively with HIV by collaborating with Northwell Hospital, which is another amazing platform in medicine in the health field,
Hmm.
and being able to present a source of free testing. Because for people who don't have that opportunity to get a free test, or maybe it would be expensive for them, this would be a great opportunity to
Yeah.
just kickstart their new horizon to a new life by
Yes.
getting
And
free testing.
let me add in because this is all new to me, so I don't want to get myself in trouble. But it's the department is CART,
Cart.
and that is at
Okay.
Northwell, and
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
department is all
Cart.
about people with HIV. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cart
Hmm.
at Northwell. Oh, so they're like a subsidi. They partner. They sound like a
No,
partner.
no, CART. It is, but it's an act. And look, I just said to somebody, I have to look this act. How, what am I? I can't talk acronym up because I
Mm-hmm.
can't ever remember it. I need to write it down. But no, it's part of
Uh-huh.
Northwell. It's part
Oh,
of
wow.
But
Wow, this is
Northwell
great.
Health is huge. So I just want to bring it. I don't want to. I want to correct my language of taking it out of that broadness and bringing it right to what it is. So it's the cart that's in and with Northwell Health. It
Absolutely.
is Northwell
Absolutely.
Health. Yeah.
Absolutely. What a great support system. What a great venue to be able to present this plethora of support. I gotta say, this
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
is really good. This is really
Yeah.
good, especially in this new year, this 2025. Because we're coming out post uh post COVID. This is still sort of like post COVID, the early era of post
Hmm.
COVID,
Hmm.
and COVID still exists among other things. It's just how to deal with the situation, that part,
That part.
and the isolation. Because again, we talked about isolation, what it means to us and what it means to others. So isolation for peace for us may not be peaceful for some. Maybe some people just need to have more support. They need to be around more people to help them to understand what it is they're passing through and live long and live well.
Okay, I'm raising my hand. You
Hmm.
can't see me, but now, because I
Yes,
don't
yes.
like that, when the brain goes noodly, but I'm telling y'all, it happens. And
It's okay.
yeah, I have to be vulnerable to it because it happens. But so CART is Center for AIDS Research and Treatment.
Okay.
Isn't that
I
so
thought
easy to
so.
remember? But I'm
It's
telling you,
okay.
5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
later tonight, I will be like, what is it again?
Mm-hmm. So it's Center
Yeah, for AIDS research and
For
treatment.
AIDS research.
It's a
Okay.
Northwell Health program that
Mm-hmm.
offers HIV care and treatment and services. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Excellent.
I just
Thank
needed
you.
to not because Northwell Health is huge, so I don't want to get myself in trouble. So I wanted to close it into exactly what I am advocating for and what they have chosen to ring my bell and say, "Hey, we you want to collab together?" And that's the head of media. She actually, the cart actually is connected with me and my network and me with them through Instagram, the Hummingbirds Instagram. Yeah.
Understood. Understood. I love it. I love it. And this is so good. So we look forward to, we are listening out for you. We will definitely be listening out for you, right? I have to say, Just Stop It fam, our viewers, listeners, we will be watching out for you and praying with you and supporting you as you come through this new horizon and bridging these horizons for other people. Because I tell you, Alva, it's like you said, you didn't expect it to go this big, but God is big like that.
Yeah.
He's big like that, and
Yeah.
you rock and roll big
Mhm.
just like that, and bigger. I just see it, and bigger.
Yeah,
And He
yeah, not
knows when you're ready.
right. I always have expectations for things to be grandeur
Mm-hmm.
because the cause is that big, and it's
Exactly.
necessary. But I didn't, I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to come. I just do what I do. And then there it is,
Understood.
piece by piece.
Understood.
Hmm.
Understood. Piece by piece, bit by bit. And
There
that's
you
a good thing. That's a good thing because then things just, it's just so perfect. It becomes so perfect.
go.
And
Right,
I hear so many
right.
people say, well, I'm not perfect. I said, well, that's okay. We're moving towards perfection. That's a part of our horizons.
Yeah,
Moving towards perfection, meaning completion. That's all
yeah,
perfection is
and
completion. And
yeah,
anything
and
else, that's okay.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
That's
I
okay.
I try to, well, not all the time, but many of times when I people heard people say that I'm not perfect, I say that's something that you don't even need to say because none of us are. So
Absolutely.
really, when people say that, it's like they're defending themselves, but it's a wrong defense
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Because
none of
we're
us
all
are perfect.
evolving.
So
Yeah, we're
so
all evolving.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah, we're all
Hmm.
evolving. And that's a good thing. Because then you could look back and say, hey, I came from that point to this point, and you're able to move forward.
Hmm.
That part, you're not stagnant. Because
Right.
sometimes that happens, you feel like you're stagnant, but technically you're not. You just need
Yeah.
the something to reinforce the things that need to be done. Take your
Right.
time, and that's it. That's it.
Right.
And just look at, like you said, don't throw everything away. you know
Right.
don't discard everything. Just pay attention to and prioritize what's needful and what you want, because you got needs and you have wants.
Right.
That's another tip. You needs and wants
And
in this season.
mhm. And Grand Queen,
Hmm.
I would like to say too, because it's stuck on my brain. It has to come out here on your show because you said about sharing. As I think into that, it's ironic that so many of us human beings have a problem with sharing, but
Hmm.
this country was built on sharing. We were raised on
Absolutely.
sharing. Everything we
Absolutely.
learned is what our parents shared with us,
Absolutely.
and so forth and so
Absolutely.
on. Everything that we learned how to do, speak, even think, sleep, um,
Exactly.
everything, play,
Exactly.
rest, do sport, everything human beings have been sharing from the beginning of the time. The
Exactly.
ultimate sharer was God, the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
from his first creation, it's all about sharing. But so thinking more into that with the sharing, I do understand that it is sometimes hard to share, difficult for people to
Mm.
share, depending on what you're sharing. But never you
Mm-hmm.
should be selfish in your sharing because this
Mm.
is what we've been doing from beginning of time. This is how we get on to where we need to get on to. But
Mm-hmm.
if you find it difficult in sharing, I understand it because that leaves you vulnerable because you don't know
Yeah.
what you may receive once you
Mm.
share. And it's a
Mm.
tough thing. I still work on myself with that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
really like to be really free and with anybody and express how I feel about them. I can be overly excited and giddy or whatever. But I, as a woman, and definitely when it comes to a male friend, like I'm thinking, because people have all these mindsets that are negative and not yet grown up to the level of
Right.
growth.
Mature. Yeah. Maturity has a
Yeah,
lot to do with it.
right.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
right.
I go through that and like, oh man, I don't want to even say, but then I'm fighting it myself. Like my other part of me is like, no, you should say be that's who you are and be
Mm.
able to hold that no matter what
Right.
it is for them, they or what them or they. I'll just leave it like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
So
it's
we're
something
learning.
for us to work on with to be
Yeah.
vulnerable because if not, we're captured. We're like our own prisoners inside of ourselves. There's pieces of us
Absolutely.
or good pieces of us that never get to come out and be expressive because we're
Exactly.
afraid to be vulnerable.
Exactly. I like that. Pieces of us. So, that it's like puzzle pieces. Yeah, pieces of
Oh,
us is still coming together
uh-huh.
as vulnerable as we are and creating that clean slate. I
Right.
love that. I
There
love
it
that.
is.
Pieces of
There
us is
that's the I
still
like what you
coming
just said.
forth.
That's the bow. You just tied the bow on
Hmm.
your show.
That's it. That's it. That's it until next week, family.
Mhm,
Pieces of us. Take that with you. Pieces of us still
mhm.
creating a clean slate as we come together on that clean slate, bridging new horizons. Don't worry about it. It has to be pieced together. Accept your pieces. It's okay.
Yes,
Accept your
yes,
pieces. Those
yes,
pieces will
yes,
turn
indeed.
into peace. The peace of God that
Amen.
passes all understanding, that
Amen.
guards your heart and mind. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love you, my Shiro.
Love you back. Love you
And
back.
thank you much.
Good show. Thank
Absolutely.
you. You
Listen,
always
we'll be
provoke my
back.
mind and my heart, so it's lovely.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you. And listen, family, we love you too. We love you back as well. For those of you who weren't able to pass through tonight, don't worry about it. As long as you're able to create a safe space in your life, as long as you're able to find a safe space in your life to find soundness and oneness and balance and allness in your life, you'll be good. And it may be in pieces, but that's okay. It'll lead you to perfect peace. Right. And on
Yes.
that note, have a good week. Don't worry about anything. Just give it to God. And those of you who don't believe in God, that's okay. You will.
That's right. It's
Don't worry about it
okay.
because you will. You will understand how to communicate. He will teach you. God will
Yes,
teach you because eventually, whether you believe it or not, you still got to come around to Him. You still got to come to Him.
that's
So it's
right.
okay. It is
He's no
okay.
respecter of persons.
A no respected person. Just
Right.
like COVID had no respected person. So listen, it's about that time. And we love and support you, everybody who's been loving on us and supporting us here
Yes.
with at the Just Stop It show and the Pit Stop. Again, we got new ties, new turns this year. As you can see tonight, the team is not here. That's okay. We got some new stuff coming on the horizon, new and safe, bridging horizons. So tonight, actually, the first Sunday tonight is the first Sunday that we are on for the year. But we started out on our mental health check-in, and we will continue on our new horizons. All right. So on that note, peace, love, and joy, and more love than anything else. Yes, my
Amen
Shiro
to
Chef.
that. Yes.
Yes, my Shiro Chef. It's all good.
Yes, it is.
We'll check in next week.
Good night and blessings to all.
Absolutely.